The judicial system exists to help society navigate some of its most difficult crossroads. At the heart of that responsibility sits a judge. Judge Vida Cortez Jimeno is a respected jurist whose career has been shaped by integrity and a lifelong commitment to fairness. Through decades of public service, she built a distinguished career in the law, earning both respect and recognition along the way. She rose through the profession where women often faced higher hurdles and where credentials and connections could sometimes overshadow potential. Through determination and an unwavering belief in what is possible, she forged a path that would inspire many others to follow. In this conversation, we step into her world to explore the experiences that shaped her journey, the values that guided her path, and the long awaited verdict that changed everything. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. So, a little background. Na-meet ko si Vida many years ago. We were classmates sa St. Louis University. This is in Baguio City in the Philippines. We were taking up political science. Thank you sa internet, we were able to stay connected through the years. And today she is gracious enough to join us for a brief interview to share about her journey in the legal and judicial field.
And I'm very happy for Vida because she's a fairly new mom. Congratulations, Vida.
Thank you.
Salamat uli sa ating mga viewers for joining us. Let's get started. First question natin is, has becoming a lawyer or a judge always been your dream?
Yun ang first question natin.
Hi, Francis. Thank you for having me today. Well, it was not my dream as a child. I wanted to be a dentist before, but when we graduated political science, and during the time that we were taking up political science, the study of law, because we have law subjects before, so the study of law was quite interesting until such time that I graduated, but I did not go immediately or enrolled immediately to the College of Law because of, mahirap lang ang buhay namin noon. So I have to work. To look for work, ma-finance yung study. And then, thankfully, I got employed at LGU Baguio City. So, during my employment at LGU, I was able to meet some people from the legal profession, and most of them now are lawyers. They were also working students before, so they were taking up law, and it was inspiring, especially that my immediate supervisor during that time, Attorney Carino, is also active, was also active in in the legal profession. So and I realized that if I will pursue law, baka yung trabaho ko sa City Hall sana ma-promote din ako, mga ganon. So I saw myself na hindi ako magtatagal na clerk, parang ganon. So kailangan ko ng professional development. So, and as a political science student, that was the only way for me to go up and develop my profession. That's why I tried to enroll at the College of Law in University of the Cordilleras, because it was hard at first because I was a working student. But later on, since many employees also of the City Hall were taking up law. So I was quite inspired, and sabi ko baka kaya ko din. So until such time na lumipas na lang yung mga araw, and then natapos ko na. Ganon.
Oh. So,
Yun.
I see. So, nung graduate ka ng poli-sci nun, hindi ka pala dumiretso ng law school.
Hindi, kaya nahuli ako sa batch natin. Yung mga batch,
Oo. I see. Say, middle of second year natin sa poli-sci nun, doon kami nag-move sa doon kami nag-move away from Baguio.
oo.
So, yun. Wow, thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Yes.
Oh, obviously, this is now a lifelong passion for you.
Oo.
Vida is a very successful judge. For audience that don't know about this, ano yung mga naging challenges mo along the way through, let's say, as far as you can remember, ano yung pinaka naging challenging part sa'yo or biggest challenge mo through this journey?
Okay, yung nakikita ko from the very start, alam mo Francis, nung, di ba galing kaming probinsya talaga, no? Dito sa, and then, nung nag-enroll ako sa SLU, sa political science, parang may ganun, no, na feeling, if you are from the province, parang hindi ko ma-develop yung self-esteem ko because yun nga siguro dahil hindi ako masyadong exposed, iba ang life sa province, sa city. Ganon din sa legal profession. When I became a lawyer, syempre ang practice ko sa province. Dito sa province, madami naman mga cases pero konti lang, yung parang limited, no? Like just confined with criminal law, civil law, and good thing I started my practice in Baguio. So we have civil law, criminal law, labor. But dito sa province, walang labor. So you are just confined with criminal cases and civil cases. So and then when I was in Baguio, I tried to uh, uh, be connected with the academe. So I went back to SLU to teach. And while in the practice of law, in private practice, nag-teach ako sa SLU. And then, medyo na-boost yung self-esteem ko. And that was the time na baka ako na palang mag-speak in front sa court. Kasi talagang na-hold back ako because of that. Na baka hindi ako magaling. Kasi dito, ang practice ko dito. And then, yun nga, hindi naman ako ganito ka-expressive during that time. Even if when I graduated political science, hindi ako ganito ka-expressive. So I went back to the academe. That somehow helped me to gain confidence and yung before the court, sa mga clients, naging mas vocal ako. And then after that, since nakita ko na in Baguio ang daming practicing lawyer, pero yung private practice namin kasi madami din namang clients na nire-represent, di naman nawawalan. But yung professional development, limited, so very limited. So, punta ako ng Manila to practice, to try practice, sa private practice din. And then, nararamdaman ko pa rin yun. If you are a graduate of yung university sa province, parang 'di ba may mga mga renowned schools tayo dito sa Philippines na graduate doon ang mga nakasabay mo, medyo na-hold back ka pa din. But thankfully, ang mga schools sa province ngayon, performing na sila. Kahit naman noon, but meron pa din yung ganun na I don't brand it as discrimination, pero hindi kami preferred, parang ganon.
Yes.
But nung na-employ ako dun sa parang isang big audit firm pero sa tax practice ako, dun ko na-realize na if you just work hard, diligently and with competence, lahat ibubuhos mo, they will not see you as that. And then until such time na parang ang sinasabi nila, favorite nila ang mga graduate from the province kasi we just want to work.
Yeah.
Mga accommodations, ganyan. So, pag gusto lang natin mag-work, ma-develop yung careers natin, ganun. So, yun lang ang nag-hold back naman sa akin nun, yung because of that, yun ang pinakamahirap na part for develop mo yung self-confidence, self-esteem. Time na nag-apply din ako na judge, nandun pa din yung parang stigma sa akin na baka dahil yung school ko. Pero I'm proud na SLU and University of Cordilleras, di ba, kilala yan pagdating sa legal profession. Pero
Okay.
practice ko kasi province, so parang limited. That's why I went away from Baguio para lang magkaroon ng medyo okay na career sa Manila. Pero
Mm.
sabi na pag nasa Baguio ka or nasa province ka is hindi na okay. Basta you work diligently, ibuhos mo lang lahat ng kaya mo, yung knowledge, skills, etc. Hindi lang
Oo.
magiging okay yung track record.
Kaya so nakatulong yung yung teaching profession mo.
Until now, I want, mini-maintain ko yun, yung teaching profession.
Kasi marami sa atin talagang challenge yan yung public speaking, confidence sa harap ng people you don't know. So good to note na yung teaching is a good tool para ma-develop yung confidence.
Correct, oo.
Nice. Thank you for sharing that.
Yes.
So, as a judge, ano naman yung biggest goal mo? Yung let's say, yung talagang pinapangarap mo na mangyari.
Well, now, syempre lahat naman gustong tumaas pa rin yung position. Pero I always say na at this point in time, I am on my peak of career na. Parang yung pinakamataas na pwede kong ma-achieve so far ngayon. Pero ayoko na magsalita ng patapos because sometimes you apply as a justice to the Court of Appeals, pero para hindi ko pa nakikita yung sarili ko for that. As of now, ito na yung pinakamataas na achievement na gusto ko kasi I just wanted to become a lawyer. But 'di ba? Sabi ko nga bonus na naging judge ako. Kasi gusto ko lang naman maging lawyer no. Gusto ko lang maging lawyer noon. Pero ngayon, na-achieve ko na ito. Parang parang ito na yung pinaka peak ng career ko as of this time. And I'm contented. I'm happy na I dispose cases na hindi nagtatagal, mga ganun. Yun yung happiness ko. So yung makadispose ng cases ng hindi matagal. 'Di ba? Ang sabi nila, "Oy, may case ako 10 years na hindi pa na-decide ganyan." So ang ko is yun, speedy disposition of justice. Laging yun ang parati kong goal. And happy ako for that. Every month nakikita ko yung mga cases ko na bumababa yung docket. Contented na ako doon. Happy na ako.
Oo. Kasi ibig sabihin, pag na-solve yung case, may na-solve kahit papaano, di ba?
Yeah.
Whatever the solution is, nag-move forward kahit papaano, kung ano man yung situation.
Yes.
Ano yung mga usual cases mo, if you don't mind sharing?
Dito, mga criminal cases, alam mo na dito sa Pilipinas, we have a lot of drug cases, drugs. Drugs, yun ang bulk. And then, we have few civil cases, land dispute, mga ganon. So, criminal and civil cases.
Dito rin sa California, actually, drugs, nako, napakalaking problem pa rin ho hanggang ngayon sa mga viewers natin. Makita nyo naman sa Pilipinas man o sa Amerika, talagang drugs, napakalaking kalaban pa rin. Okay.
And then yun, nagtuturo ako. So I love teaching. Kaya this is the career that I wanted. Parang nakita ko na ito pala yung gusto ko. But yun nga sabi ko, everything is a blessing, no? Kasi I just wanted to be a lawyer, but I achieved this kind of yung job. Kaya thankful na ako became a judge, and mahirap din yung ay maging judge, dadaan ka sa karayom, butas ng karayom.
Oo. Tsaka ano nga yung requirement sa atin? 10 years, di ba? 10 years as a lawyer.
Pag first level judge, at least 5 years as a lawyer. Pero pag RTC, Yun, 10 years. Pero before ka mag-RTC, kunwari MTC, kasi MTC judge ako dati, first level. Before
Mm.
RTC, kailangan ko ulit ng 5 years doon as judge bago ako
Mm.
vote. So, yun. And then, they will uh, evaluate you based on your performance. Kaya, yun nga ang sinabi ko kanina, gaya ng sinabi ko kanina, do your job with diligence, competence, and of course, yung integrity. Importante yun.
Mm.
Yun.
Thank you for sharing that, Vida.
Yes, oo.
So, itong profession mo, it's good to hear na it's giving you a big sense of fulfillment along with the challenges, tsaka yung career advancement talagang judge. Ano pang next na yun? Judge, di ba? Parang yun na yung peak ng legal career for a lot of people, di ba?
Yes. Oo, tama yun. Tama.
So, how has this profession improved your values as a person naman? Not materialistically, not educationally, not professionally, like yung values mo, paano na-shape ng career mo?
Well, it yung pagiging judge kasi is, 'di ba lagi yun yung, well, yun naman na talaga yung mini-maintain ko na value, yung with integrity. You do everything with integrity, honesty, and talagang yun yung mga values na gusto kong kahit sa mga staff ko, I always share them yung ganun na values na, and do not corrupt. Yun, number,
Mm.
because I will not defend you if corruption ang magpa. Sabi ko, kahit na ano ba yung ano ko sa staff ko, yung linyahan ko sa kanila. Kahit na chismis pa lang that you did this, hindi, I will not stand by your side kapag corruption. Because sa profession namin kasi, and then yun pa, yung limited na yung medyo may mga inhibitions, no, sa social life, mga ganyan.
Mm.
You have to act properly kahit even in your private or public life, yung ganun, because you uphold yung dignity of the profession and the institution that you are, and the institution that you belong, yung judiciary, no, yung Supreme Court. So ako naman, hindi naman ako nahirapan sa yun, yung honesty and integrity, kasi yun nga yung mga springboard ko bakit ko na-achieve itong profession na ito. Kasi wala pa naman ako nababalitaan na, or kasi hindi ako pwede ako magsabi, no? The people will tell na
Mm.
sing tao ako. But for the entire year na nasa judiciary ako, and even during the time na nagpa-practice pa lang ako ng law, so I maintain those values, and especially yung character mo to the public na yun nga. And then kahit sa private life nga, no. So kahit ang addiction ko lang is yung service, no. Lagi nakikita mo naman siguro yung mga post ko. So ang buhay namin is family, no, sa akin, family, and then yun nga yung
Oo.
sa Lions, yung civic organization, active ako doon, and yung sa work ko sa judiciary. So yung mga values na ini-inculcate doon, na-align din sa mga gusto ko. So that's why hindi naman mahirap. And of course, nandiyan na rin yung lifestyle, no? Yung lifestyle kasi, you have to be low-key pagdating sa ganyan. Yun nga, hindi ka dapat na loud, or just maintain yung ganung values. Lalo na yung propriety, even in your private and public life, kahit nasa labas ka, etc. So because it's the people who will judge you. Alam mo sa sarili mo, but sometimes yung mga tao, kung ano yung nakikita nila, yun lang ang, 'di ba, limited lang sa ganun, especially kapag hindi ka kilala. So you have values, especially sa trabaho ko, kailangan yun para yung mga pupunta sa court, yung mga court users, they will have this confidence na, okay pala yung disposition of justice, because ganito yung mga nasa ganitong trabaho. So, integrity, honesty, competence, and of course, yung propriety. So, dapat proper palagi.
Oo. Lalo sa professional, kayo talaga dapat ang nag-uphold ng mga ganyang values kasi aside from the church, di ba?
Standard of morality, sabi nga.
Oo. Church tsaka yung mga judge, yan ang talagang kailangan yung values, importante.
Yes, oo.
Yeah, tsaka si Vida, very family-oriented tsaka community-oriented. Dito sa US, napapansin ko, yung mga ibang judge, very high level ang lifestyle nila, fancy, ganyan. Which, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying na merong mga ganong judge. Pero si Vida, she's very down to earth. She's very community-oriented. Tsaka, hindi mo malalaman na judge siya actually. unless you really know her. And I say that because she's one of the most down to earth people that I know.
Thank you, Francis. Ikaw din naman ganun ka. 'Di ba? That's why, di ba, na-align din kung sino yung mga kaibigan mo. Ganun din kasi yung values. Especially when we are adulting na tayo, medyo limited na lang yung mga kaibigan natin. Those who uphold your value, yung character, yung mga values na gusto mo. Parang yun na rin yung mini-maintain mo. You don't need a lot of friends, di ba? Kailangan align kayo. So, pagdating sa choice of mga companions, mga friends, dapat pare-pareho kami ng values. Kung medyo ka, ay wala ka, hindi ka sa circle namin, parang gano'n.
Quality over quantity.
Yes, oo, totoo yan.
Okay, time check tayo. Alam ko 30 minutes lang ang ating set time for today. Last two.
Okay, go.
Go ahead. Ano yung sasabihin mo?
Pwede ka naman, pwede ba naman natin ulitin to if may mga ka pa, kunwari mga specific topics na gusto kang in the future.
Yan po, mga kapatid, look out for a part 2, sabi ni Judge Vida Cortez.
Yes.
Pero may final 2 tayo since we have time.
Okay.
Yung first of the final 2, any message to the public as a legal servant?
Okay. To the public, so do not lose your confidence in our legal system because there are people who really do their job, do their best every day. And of course, there are people who are still honest, you can rely on. They function with integrity and with competence. And the Supreme Court has already in the Philippines, the Supreme Court has already laid down rules, no, very very accessible na ang justice system natin. So hindi na gaya ng dati na may mga naririnig kang reklamo that they cannot reach the courts, but now very accessible na because the Supreme Court has always been available. Gusto nila available palagi kami to the public. So mas accessible na ngayon ang judicial system dito sa Pilipinas. And to the public also, I encourage you to pag may naririnig kayo na bad about the system, so it's not always true. It's not So yun lang, and sana hindi mawalan ng pag-asa because we have yung standing na Supreme Court who protects the rights and also our lower courts protects the rights and dispose justice with integrity. Hindi nawawala yun.
Thank you. Huwag daw tayong makinig sa mga hearsay. Check natin yung facts for ourselves. Tama ba?
Yes.
Okay, last question. Si Vida po kasi fairly new mom siya. We've been rooting for her for a long time na magkaroon na siya ng baby, and very recently nabiyayaan po sila ng baby. And we're all very happy for her.
Yes, Ninong, thank you.
So, anything you want to share as a mom, Vida?
As a mom, well, sabi ko nga, baka pwedeng maging nanay na lang ako everyday. Ang sarap ng feeling lang kasi ganito, after 14 years kasi, 14 years na we've been longing. And the lesson that I learned is, do not lose hope, just pray, because in time, si God pa rin talaga ang masusunod. Kahit gusto natin, kung hindi pa time. So, perfect timing siya talaga. And as of course, I'm enjoying every time na kasama ko yung baby ko, and then of course my husband. It's really fulfilling din. That's why sinabi ko din siguro na this is the life that I wanted. Kasi parang ano pa ba ang hihilingin ko? Sometimes I do not pray for myself na but for other people, because nasa akin na lahat. Alam mo yun? So, yun, yung fulfillment. So, sometimes hindi natin dapat pinapansin yung mga kulang sa atin, but nasa loob pala natin yung self-contentment, fulfillment, that every day you wake up, you feel that you are really blessed, and you feel that you have everything in life. So just continue praying with the others, and wag natin kakalimutan din yung ibang tao who are struggling. And of course, ang lagi ko din palaging namin na mag-asawa is yung kindness. Every day, lahat ng mga nakakasalamuhan natin, or kahit tayo, we have yung burden every day, but if just show little kindness to everyone, baka maging light tayo sa araw na yon. So, and as a mom also, yun mas naging yung mga values ko, yung family oriented. Dati na family oriented, so balance lang ngayon sa career at saka sa trabaho at saka sa family, especially that but mag-isa niya, no? So, ako sa kanya this time. And yun, happy. So, super happy. Hindi ko maipaliwanag.
No words to explain ang motherhood, ano?
Yes. Oo. Ikaw din naman, you're a great dad. Nakikita ko.
Thank you. Napakagandang message from Vida. Ayun, so nasa end na po tayo ng programa natin today. Thank you to Vida for joining us. That's it.
Thank you also, Francis, for having me. I hope that I give something inspiring to your audience, and they learn something from me also.
Oo naman, syempre. Thank you ulit, Vida. Regards sa family. Take care. This has been Crossroads and Bridges with Francis Baltazar. Thank you for joining us. See you next time.